This also happened in the same infamous story at Rendlesham Forest. And I have a huge announcement about all of this. In our partnership with the MUPAS team, we now have sensors in Norway and the Rendlesham Forest that are being set up to live track the data or any UFO or paranormal activity and catch that proof. We also have units in 10 different countries. We just added the 10th sensor at Chris Lato's house, who lives in Portugal. So you can get a sensor for free to live track the phenomena at your own home if you feel that you're an experiencer yourself. And it's a refundable $30. You just fill out the form and fill out the survey, and then that $30 is refunded back to you. And then the MUPAS sensor is sent out to you at no cost. But remember to fill out the survey. But if you don't want a sensor in your house, but you want to watch the data in Norway and the cameras like at Project Hesslin and Rendlesham Forest, to see the data and even my own journal entries from my own house and my own sensor, and even Chris Lato's over in Portugal, then I advise you to join my Patreon page, and you can see all of that for a $20 membership. And that also helps support our effort to try and catch this 5 Sigma level data in our independent research and everything that we're doing if you want to be part of the team. But these are the same systems that we're currently working on and collaborating with the Skywatcher team to help them with the hitchhiker effect and following them home. So if you're interested, just check out the links in the description box for both getting a free MUPAS device and also to join the support team on the Patreon page to see that international data and the journal entries as well. You also get on-screen credit for every one of my videos for helping us make this happen. But isn't this cool? Like, for those of you who have been following me for the last 4 years, this has been a really wild ride. And now everything is starting to make a lot more sense. This is what disclosure is, and this is how it has to happen. It's meant to be this way. And I don't think these are balloons. This team at the Skywatcher team is highly credible. And I know one of them personally, and he's a really great guy to be around and to work with. And I don't work with liars and hoaxers, and neither does my partner, Jim Segala. But anyway, this dog whistle technology is some kind of technology that transmits a kind of ultra low frequency that the team at Skywatcher can modulate into different tones. This is obviously some kind of advanced CE5 method. And honestly, it also sounds exactly like what we figured out when we worked with the team from Skinwalker Ranch when we filmed the Beyond Skinwalker Ranch episodes for the History Channel. At Mount Wilson Ranch, we found the manta ray actually hiding underground, and the patents for Dr. Tim Ryan, who worked for Bigelow, I discovered several pieces of technology that use this same kind of ultra low frequency to penetrate through the earth, kind of like how you would try to communicate with submarines. It's like in the noise cancellation range of the audio spectrum. So when the History Channel came to film this episode, we actually dug out some of Bob Bigelow's old light and sound projection equipment. We modified it to work with the modern technology. And we were having zero success at first until the idea came to us to change the frequency down to that ultra low spectrum. And as soon as we did that, it was like all hell literally broke loose on the property. The manta ray, or whatever was hiding underground underneath our feet, it was kind of responded. It started sympathetically resonating and like communicating with us. It responded by modulating its own frequency as like a resonant communication. And inside that sound of ultra low frequencies, there was a bizarre alien sound of clicks and chirps that the editing for the History Channel and the public episode was kind of changed and edited out because honestly, it's still not fully understood. But this manta ray object and how deep underground it was, how big it was confirmed by a professional team using ground penetrating radar and magnetometers. And that team's called the Terra Exploration Group. And I've also partnered with them.
Instead of trying to go more high tech, we tried to go back to more analog, reliable tech using the tool called the EM34, which is a conductivity meter that gives us a chance to look deep underground, between 100 and 200 feet underground.
So it's a very indirect form of imaging, but it's simple, it's elegant.
Simple, old school, and reliable is the key, especially when we've seen the weirdness, whatever the high strangeness phenomena, affect modern equipment.
And in that survey, what we found is that there is some kind of highly conductive mass with a unique shape from between 1 and 200 feet underground.
When we were passing under here, when we were up here, we were hitting metal, but we were passing under the object, and the word,
the manta ray.
Whoa.
he said.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we've been told that there is a manta ray under here.
A manta ray,
Exact.
shape of a manta ray, but being a craft.
Yeah.
A manta ray. They literally said manta ray.
Who said that, and what technology did they use?
These are people from Bigelow's team that has leaked information to us that looked through files from when they were up here.
Are you kidding? Right.
That is such a remarkable coincidence.
What's incredible is that we had just learned about it. It just sort of just all came together.
Y'all didn't front load him with that.
No, that came out of absolute nowhere.
Why?
Jeff and Carl didn't know why it had that nickname. We had never heard that before until this exact investigation.
This is startling.
Oh, yeah.
This is so startling. I think the fact that a completely independent third party conjured up the same term is beyond coincidence.
It's
During that projection, we identified an ultra low frequency that was emanating from the area, 68 hertz. We took that, turned it around, and put it back into the environment by projecting it out of our own tone generator. When we did that, we actually saw a change in the RF spectrum where the original signal seemed to intensify.
So it's almost as if you're getting a response. There is an answer, if you will, coming back.
That's what it felt like we were doing. We're putting out something and we're getting something back.
It really does look like some type of communication.
But whatever this thing was, it completely wreaked havoc on all of our technical equipment. On two separate occasions, these $20,000 professional EMS shielded drones got completely hijacked and crashed out of the sky. And on several occasions, they were moving forward in a motion and then suddenly stopped, just like they hit a force field or an invisible wall in the sky. And even more astonishing than that, the GPS recorded in those events internally on the drone. The first time that it happened, it recorded as if it was flying over Cuba, even though we were in Nevada, like it was headed towards the Bermuda Triangle. And then a full year later, it happened again. And the GPS falsely recorded inside the drone that it was flying over the Pacific Ocean, over the Pacific Northwest, headed over Canada in almost the exact same flight path as the year before. So it was super bizarre. It kept crashing the drones out of the sky. And these are two completely different drones. They're not the same drone being brought back. And we're in Nevada, and this thing is spoofing our drones every time we tried to fly them. Then we also brought in a $200,000 piece of drilling equipment and attempted to access the tunnel systems to literally go in the underground and approach the manta ray up close. And not only at this moment did I honestly get calls from strange government agents trying to intimidate us and scare us from what we were doing, but right when we started operating that big drill rig, some kind of electromagnetic wave killed the entire tractor. So it was super strange. The whole thing had layers of mystery, but it honestly all started when we figured out that ultra low frequency, and whatever was underground, it responded to us. And then the Skywatcher team, they're talking a lot about the same problem. They've even had entire control systems of a helicopter get locked up on them mid-flight. We're incapable of going up or forward. Even the physical stick of the helicopter itself would not move forward.
I've got over 4,000 hours of flight time, and this has never happened before.
So we don't know how they're jamming us. We don't know how they're turning our equipment off yet. Best guess would be a microwave signal. We're not seeing it on the frequencies we're using for our collection equipment.
And it was pretty amazing to hear the team at Skywatcher admit all of these technological fails. And when this happens, surprisingly, the Psionic team members seem to have the opposite effect. The telepathic members of the team suddenly make contact and they can almost see the future. And this is happening at the exact same time as the man-made technology is completely jammed and failing. And it surprised me that they sort of casually also mentioned that the psionic assets telepathically predicted how many UFOs were going to appear, what direction they were going to come from, how they were going to interact. And they did all of this a full 24 hours before it happened. This is mind-blowing to me because this is actual precognition.